Kodipalli, a tiny village in Bagipalli Taluk of Kolar district in Karnataka, has made a history of sorts. Most of the people here were suffering from one or the other type of fluorosis. But today, all the 50 households here are having rooftop rainwater harvesting structures. Proud of being 100% rainwater harvesting village, Kodipalli has the potential of harvesting around 131,500 litres of rainwater in each season. Thanks to Government of Karnataka sponsored Sachetana project, each one in the village is able to drink fluoride-free water harvested from their rooftops. The rain, a valuable gift of nature, bountiful provider of fresh water, that is the elixir of life. When it rains, the heavens pour water fit for drinking. We let it flow literally down the drain, and within minutes, clean water gets turned into this. And then, no water to drink. This is the paradox of modern planning. Water and sustainable development are so intimately linked that without adequate supplies and management of fresh water resources, socio-economic development simply cannot take place. India has 4% of world's water availability and 15% of world's population to support. About 85% of rural population in India is solely dependent on groundwater, which is depleting at a fast rate. In the urban areas, though about 60% of population is dependent on surface water resources, the availability and quality of water are questionable. Of the limited water resources available for human consumption, 70% is not potable. About 21% communicable diseases are waterborne. Today, contaminated water kills more people than cancer, AIDS, wars, or accidents. And it is primarily the poor that are severely affected. So, it's vitally important that the water which humans drink be free of disease-causing germs and toxic chemicals that pose a threat to public health. Safe drinking water is the birthright of all humankind.
ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕುಡಿತಕ್ಕಂತ ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಅಂಶ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇತ್ತು.
ಇಷ್ಟು ನಡಾನು ನಿಂದ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಗ್ದ್ಯಾಕಿ ಇತ್ಲಾಗ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೊಳ್ಳಿ ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ.
ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು, ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ನೋವು ಬರೋದು.
ಒಂದು ಗಳಿಗೆ ರೊಟ್ಟಿ ಬಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ಟಗೆ ನಡೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಂಡಿ ನೋವು, ಅವ್ರ ಕಾಲು ಊರಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ರೀ.
ಕಾಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಮೊಣಕಾಲು ಬಂತು ಅಂದರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಚಾಚಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಡ್ಸೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಮುಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಚಾಚಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ.
ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಹಲ್ಲಿನ ಮೇಲೆ ಕಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಬೋನ್ಸ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಬಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಹುಡುಗರು.
20-30 ವರ್ಷದಾರ ಒಂದು 45 ವರ್ಷದಾರ ಕಣ್ಣು ಕಾಣ್ತಾರೆ.
ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ನಾವು ಗತಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಅವನ್ನೇ ಕುಡಿಯೋದು.
These are the depressing accounts of the people who suffer from fluorosis. What is fluorosis? Fluorosis is a crippling and painful disease caused by consuming water rich in fluoride content. It can enter body through food, toothpaste, mouth rinses and other dental products, drugs, and fluoride dust and fumes from industries using fluoride containing salt or hydrofluoric acid. However, among common people, drinking water is the major source through which the excess quantity of fluoride enters the human body. Anything more than 1.0 to 1.5 mg of fluoride per liter can cause fluorosis. There are different kinds of fluorosis. Dental fluorosis, in a mild way, is usually characterized by the appearance of small white areas on the enamel. And individuals with severe dental fluorosis have teeth that appear tainted and pitted. Skeletal fluorosis results in fragile bones having low tensile strength. It affects the joints as well as the bones. In its most severe stages, it becomes a crippling disability. Non-skeletal fluorosis manifests itself in innumerable forms such as neurological, muscular, urinary tract, allergic, gastrointestinal problems, headache, to name only a few. Fluorosis can affect young and the old. the men and the women alike. In India, fluorosis was first detected in early 1930s in Nellore district of Andhra Pradesh and later in 3 other states. By 2007, it was identified over 19 states, putting about 66.62 million people at risk, indicating that endemic fluorosis has emerged as one of the most alarming health hazards of the country. Based on the number of districts affected in a state, they are categorized into highly endemic, endemic, and low endemic states. In Karnataka, 17 districts are facing fluoride problem, which is endemic. Government of Karnataka made sincere efforts to tackle the fluorosis problem by providing defluoridation plants, home filters, supply of river water. However, the major problems of high prevalence of fluorosis coupled with acute shortage of drinking water in summer persisted. In 2004, BERTK, with the assistance of German Agro Action, took up a small research project in Mundrigi Taluk to tackle the problem of fluorosis in that area. A holistic approach adopted in the project aimed at providing safe drinking water through harvesting rainwater using the rooftops, recharging of the groundwater, and other interventions. Mundrigi experience was shared with Government of Karnataka. Various other technical and financial committees studied the participatory approach used and the positive impact it has brought about. They were convinced of the efficacy and the sustainability of the interventions. This paved the way to the evolution of Sachetana, the project to bring safe drinking water to fluorosis-hit areas in Karnataka. Chetana means energy and dynamism, and Sachetana would mean to rejuvenate such vitality and enthusiasm. Project Sachetana is a drive to empower the community. Sachetana Drinking Water Project is being implemented in 4 taluks, that is Sira and Pavagada of Tumakuru district, Bagipalli of Chikballapur taluk, and Mundrigi taluk of Gadag district, covering a total of about 60 villages. The project areas were selected based on the high fluoride content, which ranged from 1.6 mg per liter to 7.25 mg per liter of water. Remember, the safe threshold is 1.5 mg per liter. Rainwater harvesting as such is not new to the communities, but to address specific problem of fluorosis and to provide safe drinking water throughout the year in a big scale is a new approach. The objectives here are to provide safe drinking water through innovative rainwater harvesting structures, to recharge groundwater through various interventions like borewell recharge, excavation of percolation ponds, and direct aquifer recharge, and to build capacity of communities. As the primary objective was to provide per person at least 5 liters of fluoride-free water to the community, at least for drinking purpose, we looked up at the heavens for silver line.